everyone, welcome to Cancer Healing Journey Talks. Myself Sonali Modi from Community Outreach Team of ZenOnco.io and Love Heals Cancer. Cancer Healing Journey Talks help cancer survivors and caregivers to share their story with vast number of caregivers and survivors who have traveled or been traveling to this journey. It also motivates and inspires them for their faster recovery. So firstly, I would like to introduce you to today's speaker, Miss Anna. She's a cancer survivor. I'm happy that you're here with us today to share your story. So over to you, Anna. Please start with your introduction.
Hello, I'm Anna Kuijpers. I'm half Portuguese, half Dutch. I'm living in the Netherlands at the moment. And I am a social worker at a school and also a travel blogger. And I am 6 years clean of cancer. And I had ovary cancer 6 years ago.
Okay, so what was the stage of the cancer?
Well, they said it was a borderline tumor, so it wasn't a good tumor or a bad tumor. It was in between, but they already saw there was a micro invasion of bad cells. So they said that chemotherapy wasn't gonna go for me, that wasn't gonna do anything. So we had to do a very big operation and remove everything that was bad in my body, so a lot of lymph nodes. And they said that that was the maximum they could do, and hopefully that the body would do the rest.
Okay. So what were the symptoms and how it got diagnosed?
It was very strange because it all started a year before that. I had some pain near my ovary, but I didn't know what it was. And then I had pain during sexual relations with my boyfriend, who I already had for 8 years. So I went to the doctor. That I really thought was very strange. And then they saw the PAP, the Papa Nicolau. There was like a stage of I forgot to translate that word for myself, but the uterus mouth, let's say like that, like every woman can have that, like in their 30s. You have to also do some tests when you're 30, but I was 25 then, so it was a little bit early. But they saw these agitated cells, so they took something away, and they said like, yeah, you're very young, don't worry, in half a year come back for a test, and we'll see again, but don't worry, you're going to be fine. And half a year later, I went to have a test to check my uterus, and then they saw some bad cells coming from another way. So they had to make more tests, and then they saw bad cells coming from the ovary canal. And that is how everything actually came. So before I had ovary cancer, I had like no symptoms at all about the ovary cancer. And that is, I think, where my luck came, that I had to have the checkup anyway for something else. And out of that, those tests, it came out that I had a big tumor on my ovary, on my right ovary.
Yeah, so what was your first reaction when you got to know that you're diagnosed with cancer, and how your family took this news?
A very good question. I remember being at the hospital, and there were 4 doctors in front of me, because the doctor had to have a few second and third opinions about the situation. But it was really hard to see. But the results of the blood tests came out like, there is cancer, we have to look where it is. So when they told me the word, yeah, you have a tumor on your ovary, that means there's cancer, and we have to make, and then the rest, I didn't hear anything. It was just blank. And I was there with my mom, and I started crying, she started crying. To be honest, I just remember the faces of the doctors, like looking at me like, oh, you're so young. And I don't recall the rest of that appointment, but I just remember just not stopping crying. I couldn't believe it was my life. And then I told my dad and my brother, and no one could actually believe it was true, because I was going to the hospital for something else, and you won't think that something like that would happen, that really would fall out of the sky. So there was it was very emotional. It was very emotional, and my friends, they just really couldn't believe it. It was, yeah, like disbelief. I think that is the main word that was happening. And for me, it was as if I was in a roller coaster and not really, when I would talk about myself, it felt sometimes like a helicopter, that I was talking about someone else, or I was like looking at my situation from above, but not really in it. It was a kind of survival mode that I got into.
So yeah, what treatment you underwent?
So first they had to have I had to do a coloscopy. They had to remove the ovary with a tumor to check out, is it a good tumor, a bad tumor, what is the next step? And they told me be prepared for the worst, because they saw two veins going from the ovary to the tumor, and the oncologist said, when this happens, most of the time it's going to be a bad tumor, so be really prepared for the worst. So I don't know how you can be prepared for the worst, but I was when I was brushing my hair, I used to cry, just to thinking like, hey, maybe in a few months I cannot brush my hair again for a long time. But luckily it was a borderline tumor, and the doctor said, we have to operate you. And first they thought we're going to operate you and just from like down to the belly button. But after many tests, they saw that some lymph nodes near my heart were already having bad cells too. So they had to operate me from like between my legs until between my breast. So it's a really long, big scar. But they said like, this is the most we can do. And so they removed 37 lymph nodes, and also a part of my intestines, my small and big intestines, because they saw with their own eyes bad cancer cells on them. And that was something that didn't come out from the tests that I did in the scans. That was something that they just saw when I was lying there. So it was a really big operation. And that was all that I had to go through.
So did you try any alternative treatment?
If I tried, sorry, what?
Any alternative treatment apart from the complementary one?
No, I did change my my diet, also because I had to, because of my intestines. I cannot really process a lot of gluten and a lot of processed foods. So that is something I really had to do. And I did ask the doctor, like, is there anything I can do to make sure this won't come back? And he said, no, just, continue life and have a balanced diet. But I really wanted at that time that someone would explain to me more what is a balanced diet, because I used to eat so much processed stuff and sodas and so much sugar. I wasn't really aware of what I was eating and what that would also do with my body. So I did make a change there, to be more aware of what I was eating, and still enjoy, processed food because I like it too. But to be more aware, like where to get your vitamins, the vegetables, and more organic products. But for the rest, I didn't have another treatment for that. No.
So how did you manage your emotional well-being?
That's a really good question too. Actually, I eliminated the people, there were many, but I eliminated some people that wouldn't give me good energy, or would pity me a lot. People that would cost me a lot of energy to talk with, because I thought, if I'm here for not really long time, I want to be with the people that really care about me and that lift me up. So that is one thing. Well, to be honest, my parents, they were really worried at that time too, especially my mom. And she would also want me to be there for her, but I couldn't, because I had to be there for myself. And that was something that clashed a little bit, because I had to focus on my own recovery. So I chose more what I wanted instead of pleasing others. I thought, no, I'm going to start pleasing myself first and do what makes me happy. That really helps. That really helps. And I could talk about the disease with my social network, my friends, and and family. And what really helped me was continuing life as I wanted to. So also during that process of the 2 operations, I went to all the festivals, even though people were telling me, stay at home, you have to mentally prepare yourself for the big operation. It's like, well, no, that will only bring me down. Like I want to party, I want to feel that I'm alive again. And also after the big operation, I had a wedding of my best friend, and I was I was maid of honor, and it was in Spain. And that really helped me to have my strength and know, like, okay, there's a 6 weeks recovery. The wedding is in 5 weeks. I'm going to be there with heels, and that is going to be my motivation to recover well and fast. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't have like a kind of a light in the end of the tunnel. Then the recovery would really feel really long for me.
Yes.
So that really helped. Just continue planning whatever you want to do. Even if it's just a weekend away, or going a day away to do something, but have something in the long run to look forward to, that gives you energy. For everyone is different.
Yes. So what was your support system during those times?
Do you mean what helped me to get through it?
Yes. Your support system, the person who motivated you, or what helped you to go through those difficult times?
Well, it was my partner at that time really helped me get my head somewhere else. And my friends too. Also, I planned a trip to Vietnam for a year later, which also really helped me. And to be honest, now I'm 6 years further, and it's still a process, because with my ex-partner, he had lost his mother to breast cancer. So for him, we could talk about what happened to me, but mostly it would be like, okay, let's talk and move on, because it was also sensitive for him. And with the partner I have now, Raymond, which I'm with for nearly 3 years, I can really go deeper in the to talk about the disease. And to be honest, that is such a relief, because I noticed that there is still some fear and pain that was still there. I couldn't trust my body. I was always scared it was coming back. What I also thought for a long time is that I wasn't going to get old, that I wasn't going to become a mother, a grandmother. And since 3 years since I've met Raymond, I have more faith that I will grow old and do all the things that I've always dreamed about with the age of 40, 50, 60. So actually that is interesting, because at the time that I was sick, that actually helped me to have a partner that didn't really talk about it too much, who had which I did like other things, like focus on other things in life, like and with the partner I have now, I can go deeper and really be vulnerable about what I was actually feeling, and how the situation was between me and my mom, and how that affected me. And I can really talk about all the deepest fears I had. And that is something that in the beginning I didn't do with my partner before. But that also says something about that relationship. Yes. So that really helps me to have someone in your life that you can really say, really tell what you really feel.
So how was your experience with the doctors and other medical staff?
With the oncologist was really good. He was really nice. I really felt that he was doing all that he can plus more. There were some nurses when I was at the hospital that were really funny, that really light my day up, but there were others. So I had I think the whole experience box that really said the wrong things. I remember that I was lying down to have the operation. I was really nervous. I was really tense, and she was looking at my profile, and she said oh yeah, my daughter had the same, and she's 33 now, and she cannot have kids, and she was telling me all the negative stories that she had about her own daughter. And I thought the only thing you have to do is carry my like hospital bed from A to B, and you're telling me between A to B like horrible stories before I entered the operation room. The result was that I was hyperventilating after 10 minutes, and I had to have something like Valium or something to calm me down, because I was really, really nervous to have the operation, thanks to her and thanks to all my thoughts. But yeah, you can be lucky or you can have these kind of things. It really makes a whole difference.
So how you felt when you first heard that you are cancer free?
Well, that was also a process, because after 3 months, you have the first checkup, and first it's like every 3 months, and every half year. Every time I heard there's no cancer in you, it was a party. I would always go after, have a nice lunch with the champagne and call everybody, and everyone would be like so happy. And last year, when I was 5 years cancer free, it was symbolic, because the tears are coming. But yeah, it was really symbolic.
Yes. So, there are times when you feel that it's too much to handle, but you still don't give up. So, what was the one thing that motivated you and kept you going on such days?
Well, I have a really great passion for life, and I've had such a big journey the last 6 years, not only because of what happened, but also I had a lot of insights, and I noticed that since I got ill, yeah, how can I say? Some people say you have two lives. The first one you have, and the second one is when you know you only have one life. And that is what I felt when I really had this urge to live my life on my terms, on my way, and that no one had to stop me, because in the end, it's all about what you have done. Like, people come into your life, and it's temporary in the end. Even though someone can stay in your life for 30, 40 years, it's still temporary. You're on your own in the beginning and in the end. So I started to realize that more, and I thought, I have to do what motivates me. So I made lists, like bucket lists, and like everything I wanted to do, and a lot had to do with travel, but a lot also had to do with just do whatever. And what I did notice is that in the first 4 years after I was diagnosed, I was really agitated the whole time. Like, I had a FOMO, like fear of missing out, the whole time. Every party that I was invited to, yes, I would say yes to everything, because imagine if this is like the last things you're gonna experience. And ever since I met my partner, I'm learning how to be more in the moment and enjoy the beautiful things about life. And it can just be like lighting up a candle, having a nice cup of tea, and just looking outside, or just small moments. And it really got me through. Yeah, it was that planning ahead and looking forward for things. I mean, learning more about myself, learning more about my childhood, why I am who I am, and really do more what makes me happy. And that is exactly where I am right now. A year ago, I quit my job as a child protector, which is a really high demanding job with a lot of stress, which also doesn't really help for your health. And I decided to go on a world trip with Raymond, which was amazing. And we came back a few months ago, and now I'm working part-time as a school social worker, and really focusing on my travel blog, which really gives me energy. And yeah, I have a less stressful life now, thanks to how I wanted to design it. And I really, really like that. And I don't know if I would have had those insights if I didn't gotten ill. So it's interesting to know that the illness is it's a curse and a blessing at the same time, and many people don't understand me, but it's because there's a happy ending to it, because I know that many people don't have it. And the fear, of course, I would never want to experience that ever again, or wish it to anyone. But I'm really happy in my mindset how this yeah, had a beautiful turn in my life.
So did you make any lifestyle changes during or after the treatment?
If I had made many life changes?
Yes, lifestyle
Yes.
changes.
Yes, I was a social smoker. And I quit that, and sometimes I smoke a cigarette here and there, but it's like nothing compared to then. My diet, like I said, really changed. I'm more aware of what I eat. I try to go more for organic, because this is the only thing I can actually control. It's what I eat actually. But I have to say I'm not that strict, because I also really like pizzas. I like to eat a nice hamburger and fries here and there. So I just really enjoy what's there, but I'm more aware of it. And I try now more than then to have a less stressful life. So instead of having a whole agenda full with dinners and with everything that comes with, I also enjoy a week of calmness and just read a book or watch some Netflix instead of having like a really full agenda, because I did that after I was already a busy person before I got ill, and after I was like, okay, I have to be busy also, because the busier I was, the less I had to feel the fear. But then now, since a few years, I realize that I'm more at ease with everything, also because with time comes growth and confidence that it's not going to come back. And if it comes back, it won't come back, but it's something else then. So yeah, those life changes really helped me.
Yes. So do you think that cancer has changed you in a positive way?
Yes, yeah. Like I said, thankfully, to the happy ending that I'm cancer free. But for sure, I feel like a total different person. And like I said, like when you notice how fragile life is, then you're gonna appreciate it even more. And my gratitude for life has never been so big as now. Um, I waste yeah, I don't waste any days. That's how I feel. Like every day I really make a something beautiful out of it, even though I don't experience like much on maybe on a Sunday afternoon. I just still enjoy it, because the small things are the big things. It sounds very cliche, but it really brings everything to perspective, because at a certain point I thought I didn't have enough time, and then time becomes very, very precious. And also like the time I spent with my parents and with friends, I really, really appreciate it even more now.
Yes.
So
So
it
what?
has changed.
Yes. So what life lessons you got from your cancer journey?
Well, don't postpone everything. Don't say like, oh, I'll do it next year, or I'll do it one day, or when I'm retired, then I'm gonna go and travel. That is something, I think that is the main lesson that I had, to never do that ever again. My upbringing was more focused on, you're going to school, you're gonna go to college, and you go to work, and travels for later. Like later you'll travel, but first school and studies, and have a job, and probably have kids, and get married, those kind of things. And for a long time I was of course influenced by my upbringing, but I would clash with those thoughts, because me, Anna, thought like, no, but I want to do all the things now, because now I can, why not? It's a different generation. And when I got ill, I thought like, damn it, I don't postpone anything, because as you know, like you don't have a guarantee that you have time, or that you are healthy, or that maybe loved ones around you get ill. So you want to be with them. Go do that trip, go start that hobby, quit your job if that is not what makes you happy, because time is precious. And I think at the end of the day, what really matters is that you're happy and that you have the love around you. Yeah, not postponing is the best thing. Also with the world trip, COVID got in the way, but I thought, no, I cannot postpone it because you don't know if COVID's still going to be there next year. Like, let's just do this world trip. And we were able to do it for 9 months, which was amazing. But that is like a small example of something that maybe the Anna, when I was 25, I would say, oh yeah, you know what, maybe we can do it like in 3 years, why not? But now I'm like, no, everything that you can do now, just do it.
So have you ever asked yourself this question, why me? And if yes, then how you cope up with this thought?
Yeah, I did, but it was more like, me, really? Like me? Like more like, yeah, I couldn't really believe it. I didn't think in a way like, why me? What did I do to deserve it? Those were not my thoughts, but more like, how can this happen to me? And I couldn't believe that that was my life. So my thoughts really went into, no, this is not the end of my life story. This is so tragic. It's so tragic. That would be so sad. And also I thought about my parents, like, they don't deserve this, you know, like, this is, and I really, yeah, those were actually the thoughts that I had, like, truly unbelief. I disbelief. So that is how I coped with it. I had those thoughts and I thought, no, this is cannot be the ending of my story. No. So I just kept saying to myself, no, this cannot be. But I had moments, of course, that I was very, very scared. And I thought, but maybe I am one of those that won't have a beautiful story to tell, but that will be very tragic. Why would I would be like a special one, or a miracle would happen that they could get all the cancer out of my body? My thoughts went all the way, to be honest. But most of the time I would say, no, this is not my story. And I also would think, like, more rational, how come that happened to me? And the doctor said, it's just pure bad luck of DNA that is how it happened. And sometimes I did blame myself for not having a very healthy lifestyle. And if you compare my lifestyle to maybe someone else's, pretty average, like healthy, like nothing very special. But I did blame myself a little bit in the beginning, that I thought maybe I could have had like a less stressful life, better alimentation, less of this, more of that. But people would always like, Anna, don't say that. Like, this is just, yeah, what it is right now, but don't blame yourself.
So what would be your message to other cancer patients and caregivers?
Have faith, talk about it, talk about what you're feeling, share your deepest thoughts with someone that you trust and that can be there for you. Have things planned that will also lighten up your mood and your day, so you have something to look forward to. That really helped me to get me through those days. And one thing that I learned during the recovery is that pain is feels very short, as in the actual pain you feel in your body is very short. And at the moment that I heard that, I was like, no, that cannot be. And every time I had pain, I used to think, oh, okay, just count until 10 and then it will go away. And it did. Sometimes it was like after 4 seconds or 10 seconds or 15 seconds, but it was temporary, like really, really short. And that thought always helped me through when I had like most of the pain, because I wasn't on morphine anymore. So I had to go through that hell of pains that got me through. It's temporary, and when you remember pain, you will never feel it again in your body. You have like the mind of, yeah, that was painful, but you won't feel it again.
So how did you overcome your fear of treatment or side effects?
Well, the side effects that I had was unfortunately, due to the intestines that I had to cut for a big part, that is still a process, because I still don't know if I can eat everything, and I really love to experience new types of food. So yeah, sometimes I just get really bloated, or I get really a stomach pain, or I have to go to the bathroom really fast. It's still a process. It still is. But I have a partner who's like very comprehensive, and who thinks with me like, hey, maybe that will help you more than eating like a piece of bread or anything. So that is really nice, that I don't need to be embarrassed or anything because of how I'm feeling at that moment. Those are the only side effects that I'm having these last 6 years, and I think that's something that I have to live with for the rest of my life.
So when did you think that I can beat this disease, or was this belief always there with you?
It started to grow after the operation, when I knew the cancer is out of your body. It felt like a kind of fresh start to recovery, and that is when I thought, okay, I want to do this well. This is not only a physical recovery. This is the mental recovery was even harder, to be honest, because that took a longer time. And I started to believe, actually after 3 months, when I had the first checkup, actually 2 months, and they said everything is fine. The tumor value in your body is very, very low, and I thought, okay, this is this is good. This is very, very good. So I kept that faith. I held to it. And that is when I thought I can actually beat this. I can. And every time I had a checkup, I got a little bit more percentage of trust and confidence that I could overcome this.
So do you have the fear of reoccurrence of cancer? And if yes, then how you deal with it?
If I have the fear that it will come back?
Yes.
I think the fear is always will always be there. I had a checkup last week, and that was the 6 years checkup. And at the moment I can go into the hospital, I just get nervous, and I can just relax when I go out of the hospital again. I think there's always this fear of, what if it comes back, or what if I have another type of cancer in the future? Yeah, but I'm just thinking about your question. I get the fears before the checkup only. Like, so now I really felt the fear, and my next checkup is in half a year. But since last week, I feel fine, because everything is well. So I don't have anything to worry about. But I'm sure in April, I'm gonna just have those thoughts like, yeah, what if now everything is well again? I'm really happy in life. Everything is working out so well. The only thing that can really make everything like not worse but bad is not being healthy, and hearing that, and going through all those scans again, which was a true roller coaster in the hospital. Yeah, it doesn't the duration of the of thinking it can come back, it doesn't take very long, luckily.
So at zenonco.io, we help cancer patients through their journey, like from diagnosis to forever. So what do you think about our work?
I think it's really, really beautiful. I think it's very important as well. I remember after the operation, the oncologist asked me, do you want to join a group where you can talk with other cancer patients about the journey? And I said no, because I thought I have to do this on my own. And I was afraid, actually. I was afraid of seeing someone that would have it worse, or maybe wouldn't have a very positive story to share. And I was so afraid of going to a group like that I said no. But it's a few years already. I thought like I should have said yes, because that would have inspired me so much. And I think if I had said yes, I would have opened up more about my feelings and my fears with other people, because I thought I could talk about it with my environments, but only when I met my partner that I have now, I realized how much there was still in me that I wanted to share, to just talk about. And yeah, I think you're doing a great work and great job, and supporting the people that are going through it, because yeah, it's undescribable what this can do to a person and the loved ones near them.
So if you have to sum up your journey in one sentence, then what would that be?
Oh, that is such a good question. What would that be? I to be honest, I don't have the answer right now. I don't have the answer. I think I can sum it up with that one sentence.
Okay. So what do you think are the stigmas attached to cancer and the importance of awareness for it?
What I think about the stigma about?
Stigmas that are attached to cancer, and what is the importance of awareness for it?
The importance of the awareness for it is that it's very important to be aware of your body, and the thing is also that with cancer, it's such a silent disease that when you're going to feel it, actually and you're in a not a great stage when that happens, which is very important also for the medical care to be very aware of it. And how can I say, to be on time with doing certain tests. For example, in the Netherlands, you don't go to the gynecologist when you're young. You only go to the gynecologist when you want to get pregnant, or so you're already in a certain age. If I compare it to Portugal, you go to the gynecologist the first thing you do when you get your first period, which means you also have those checkups with that different uterus, where I had some complications with. And so I think that is so important to keep talking about it, because at the moment that I talked about it with my colleagues and friends about the beginning, what happened, you could hear more people say like, I had it too, and yeah, they took something away and everything was fine again. Or you just hear about those process, and the awareness of any cancer, whatever it is just really important to know that it's there, how it can be treated, and also help each other about it, because unfortunately there are so many people that know someone that have cancer, and that's very scary. But it's important to keep talk about it, and if you are able to help in any kind of way, maybe know a doctor, or just just listen to the person, that can really make a big difference.
So thank you so much for your valuable time. I hope this session really motivates people out there who have traveled or been traveling through this journey. So it was lovely having you here today with us on this session, Anna. So once again, thank you so much.